Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve and this is my Flosstube number 44 and welcome. If you're new to my channel, I talk about all kinds of things needle art, and that would be in Flosstube. I talk about cross stitch, I talk about sewing, I talk about quilting, and occasionally other kinds of crafts like that. Occasionally I do make paper flowers. I haven't in a while because I've been concentrating on CrossStitchCamp. And I do also some art videos, but not as often. And so if there's something you're interested in, this particular video is a Flosstube video, and we will be talking mostly about cross stitch. And let's get started. So I saw a lot of people doing a mid-year WIP parade, and since I really only have a couple of things to show, I thought I would do that too. I don't have tons and tons and tons of WIPs. I have more than I thought. And I do have stuff that I would like to do. So I guess I want to add to my WIPs. But I do have a finish. I did finish my July CrossStitchCamp piece. Let me see if I can get a good view on it. This is Coop Parade series by Twin Peak Primatives, and I had a lot of fun making it. It is on 28 count Lugana in taupe, and I'm thinking I'm going to finish it in a frame. I saw some possibilities at Hobby Lobby when I was there the other day. I didn't have the piece with me, and I didn't have the measurements with me, but I really want something rustic looking, so I might go another route of framing. I guess I haven't said so much about myself. I have worked in any number of different craft areas, and when I lived in Florida, I worked at a craft store. I think they went by Ben Franklin, but the company was Neighborhood Variety Stores. And I often had to help out in the framing department. So I learned a lot about cutting mats, putting frames together, stuff like that. So I really prefer doing stuff myself if I can. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't had stuff professionally framed. I have artwork that I've finished that I've had professionally framed, especially if it's pastels or something like that, where I want to make sure there's the proper protection for it, so that it won't, you know what I mean. I'm sorry, the words just flew out of my head. I knew I was saying, and I then forgot what I was saying. All right, so this week, I'm going to go with the stuff I've worked on this week first. This week I have been working on my tinymodernistSAL, and I got the second installment yesterday, but I haven't printed it out yet. And this is my progress so far. I had more done on this angel in the middle. I'll show the picture in a second. But actually, I had a whole bunch of it done here, and I realized I was off by one stitch too much right here, and I had to take all that out because then it wouldn't meet up properly over here. So I'm still I have to frog some more. So basically almost everything I did. But I have been able to pick this up more since I finished my CrossStitchCamp piece. This is the angel I'm talking about, and right here I was doing the lines that went back up and it was wrong, so I had to take all of that out. And the second piece says, when witches go riding, and cats are seen, I think, and then it says or something like that. And I was like, well, that's a weird place to break it, but it's kind of amusing. So I'm anxious to try to get some headway on this, and it's not tons and tons of stitching, even the second piece, so it shouldn't be. The only thing is filling in the white on the angel. That is, but even that is not, a whole lot. So I should be able to make some good headway during the month of August. I am not going to panic about it. I'm not going to fret about it. If I don't get to finish by Halloween, it won't be the first time, because you will see in my WIPs. So again, that's the progress that I've made so far. I should just concentrate on the words, I guess. But I wanted to get that angel worked on. And then I did some work this week on letters to Santa. And yeah. If you haven't seen my Instagram post or my Facebook post on this, so the instructions say to put an X on the back, and I did, to find the center, and I did, but the picture where it says to put an X on the back is this way. So I didn't look at the pattern correctly. I didn't look at the pattern at all, I guess. And the orientation should not have been this way. It should have been this way. And it would go almost all the way this way, and almost all the way this way if I had done it right. Well, the dog's tail is going to go over by 2 holes over here. And so I have an option of taking the whole thing out, starting again. Some people have offered me some of this blue perforated paper, so I can just start over. These are just DMC threads. They have the numbers on the kit. Or I can try to see if I can make his body 1 more stitch skinnier, and then make his tail just a little bit pointier up, less of a curve. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I have to think about it. It's not Christmas yet. I am going to put this away to think about it later. Because if you've been watching my channel, you know I have had all kinds of problems with this. And it's my own fault. It's like just, it's a little easy kit, and I can just whip right through it. Now, you still have to pay attention. You still have to count. You still have to orient the stuff the right way. And so it's my fault. Just like having to take all that out on when witches go riding. Yeah. And that was just, I counted wrong. I counted on the pattern the wrong number of stitches. But still, that's me. And then before I get to my WIPs, let me make sure that's all I worked on. I didn't work anymore on Joyful Snowman, I don't think. Let me look at it here. Maybe I did. Yeah, I think I have. Last time I showed it, it was just this little top portion, so I got more going down this way. Not a ton more. As I said, I just, that's the part here. It's the part on this side of the body, yeah. I only work on it when I'm out somewhere and have to wait, and I didn't have a lot of that to do. I keep it in a bag that just goes out with me, so I don't pull it out for any other reason usually. Okay, ever. And that's intentional. It's just something that I would like to have finished. I like it, but it's not what I was concentrating on in July. I was concentrating on my camp cross stitch piece. So those are the 3 that I've worked on this week. Today is August 1st, the first day of August cross stitch camp, and it's a new to you thread or fabric. And I chose this pattern, Just Nan, Crystal Snowlady Mouse. It said to do it on linen, 32 count linen. This is 32 count Murano Carré in Pink Splash that I got at, Hobby Lobby. See the little pink dots? Aren't they cute? Now, I'm like, really? That's the size? I calculated it like 3 times. And I left an inch on either side what it said. So that's what it says, that it's tiny. So I'm going to start on this. I was going to start it on it last night, and I didn't have the fabric cut. I didn't think I was going to need to. I thought, okay, I'll use my corner gauge and, go from there. But because the pattern is, like a fan, I was like, I don't want to count that much. I have enough counting, the angel on 14 count Ada. So, and the dog, and, it's like, no, this is 32 count. I don't want to have to undo anything if I can help it. Now, if I find out after I've worked on it for a couple of days that this fabric is too small, I'm gonna start crying. But it's only I think they said it was 2 by 3 with the when it's finished or something like that. So this is 4 by 5. So it should fit. Anyway, that is what I plan to work on mostly in the month of August. And I'm going to go through my WIPs, and then I want to talk about the things that I would like to start, but I do want to work on some of these WIPs. There's some that I would really like to get some progress done on them. We've had a fun time, my sisters and I. It's been raining, and then it's hot still afterward, and we go swimming, and it's muggy and wet out. The air feels wet, and to people who live near an ocean or something like that, I know it's not as humid as it gets there. I used to live in Florida, so I know humid. But I lived in Belgium. I know cold humid. I know hot humid. And I know that if you're further away from the coast, the hot humid can be pretty unbearable. I remember when I was a kid living in New Mexico, it would be 107 outside, and I would hear news reports of people dying from heat exhaustion and heat stroke and stuff in Georgia and areas like that, when it was only in the 90s. I'm like, I don't understand. It's not that hot. We go and do stuff in the 90s. And then I lived in Florida. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is a whole nother level of hot. Because your body's cooling system doesn't work properly. That's not to say that when it, like earlier in June, when it was 120, the body can't cope with that either. And even now, with the temperatures much lower, 105, 101. Today, I don't think it's even that hot. I'm uncomfortable. It's muggy and hot, but it's not horrible. This room doesn't get air conditioning. We still have people who want to go hiking and do outdoor activities who are not from this area, And just yesterday or the day before yesterday, someone lost their life hiking here. And it's because in the morning, I mean, in a desert climate like this, in the morning, it is fantastic weather, but you have to get out and done with your activity outside before it starts getting really hot. Your body cannot cope with the heat if you're not used to it. When I was driving Uber, I used to tell visitors, they'd go, "Oh man, it's so hot." It was like 99 degrees. I'm like, "This isn't hot, but you need to be careful." And as it came hotter and hotter, I would tell them, "Don't walk anywhere. If you're going to spend time outside, do it in the morning, do it in the late afternoon or early evening. Do not go out in the middle of the day. You will get a severe sunburn if you don't have enough sunscreen on, and you need to take bottles of water with you wherever you go." And they're difficult lessons to learn when you first move here. Your car battery dies right away. I had a 5-year battery that was done in less than 3 years. So the heat is a different animal here, but in other countries, other parts of the country, well, in other countries as well, you may not even have air conditioning because your climate doesn't require it most of the time, and then this year you've had really hot weather. So it's all a matter of degrees. And I used to tell, I'd be cold, and it was not even a cold temperature compared to somebody who lives in Wisconsin, and they'd say, "This isn't cold." I'm like, "Well, it dropped 40 degrees, so a 40-degree drop in temperature is a 40-degree drop in temperature, and it goes the other way too." And again, this is a cross-stitch station, not a weather station, and I realize that most of my life I talk about the weather, because during the summer here, weather is something that you pay attention to, how hot it is, whether or not you can go outside, and ways that you can get around it, like having a swimming pool in your backyard. Okay, so enough of stuff that has nothing to do with cross-stitch. These are in no particular order, and I have the pile of the WIPs here and the pile of the pictures, if I have them, over here. I have 3 DMC patterns. They do not have pictures with them. They are just the free pattern. And if you haven't gone to DMC's website to look at their free patterns, they have some really cute ones. And if you want new projects and you don't have the funds to just be buying all the things that you see, because there are so many beautiful patterns out. DMC has some great patterns. And you can just go ahead and check stuff out. And they don't make you do anything except sign up for the newsletter or something, and then you can unsubscribe later if you want to. This is called, oddly enough, it is called Black Whale. And of course it's Orca. And this is another one down below. And when I was concentrating on this in May, I have a decision wheel thing, and this is one of the things in there, and I would spin it. I actually got the top one finished pretty quickly, and the bottom one, it does pretty fast. The only reason that this is still a thing is because I don't work on it. I started it in October of last year. This is another one. This is a DMC pattern. They're stuck together. My needle minder stuck them together. And even though I work in hand most of the time, I still use a needle minder. If I have to move it somewhere where it's not bothering me, I do. But I find it even more important when I'm working in hand to have a place to quickly snap the needle to. And I know a lot of people, they put them on trays or whatever. Speaking of which, Walmart, in their finishing area, they have a whole bunch of wood and stuff like that for finishing, and it's in the like really close to where the threads are and stuff. They don't have a great thread selection, but they have these wonderful little wooden pieces and stuff. They have one that's a frame with an enamel, a metal enamel insert that's rounded, looks old-fashioned, you know, kind of thing. And actually, I was thinking about that for my Coop parade. But the wood is not very old looking, and I would have to do something sanded or something to make it look right. But anyway, that's aside. But some people use stuff like that to hold their needle minders. Anyway, this is called a turtle, and it's a sea turtle. Now, the DMC does not, the DMC pattern does not call for these specialty threads that I have in here. I have Krynic threads in here. I like shiny, so it's pretty shiny. I don't know if you can really see that. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's pretty shiny. And again, when I was working on this in May, I was making some really good progress. If I concentrated on it, I could probably get it done pretty quickly. Having worked on Whale in a Light Bulb and Coop Parade, that I was able to get those big patterns done in a month. I'm like, if I buckle down and do one thing, I can do pretty good. And then this is a DMC pattern called Black Cat, and it's not much to look at right now, but the cat has all kinds of little Halloween kind of motifs on it. There's a lot of counting in here, so I decided to just go ahead and start doing the black of the cat and then skipping where these go, because I was like, yeah, I better find a way to get that counting done easier. So that is the last one that doesn't have a picture. And I'm going to do the last kit one. I started this as a gift for my son. I wanted to have it done 2 Christmases ago, I think. And yeah, not anywhere close. This is as far as I am. So yeah, these threads, I haven't cut the threads off and stuff. Color me embarrassed now. But I got this half mostly done. Again, in May when I was doing Mania, this is kind of what I was doing. I was just spinning stuff, and I only started a new one. I started a new one right away, and when I finished that new one, I started another new one, but I was still working, spinning the wheel for working on this stuff. And this is Cute Boots. I guess I should have showed that was a DMC pattern, and Letters to Santa is a Mill Hill pattern, and the Joyful Snowman is also a Dimensions pattern. This is Cute Boots, X's and O's, designed by Joe Gatenby, and I haven't worked on this very much at all. This is 28 count even weave that I dyed myself, and the others are just 14 count Aida. No, the Black Cat is 18 count Aida. So I really like this, but the pattern is the kind that has, one thing of the color here, and then you go down and around and there's another thing of that color, and you go down. So I don't want to be working on it where I'm like not concentrating on it, because I really like this pattern, and I do want to get it done. I do want to get it done in a timely fashion, but I also don't want to have to be frogging out tons of it. And as I said with Coop Parade and Whale in a Light Bulb, I'm really encouraged that if I put my mind to one pattern or 2 patterns and just do that, I can get it done pretty quickly. However, I have too many to just concentrate on one for very long, because I do want to get them all done. I started this last October. This is Halloween Gnomes. And here's the pattern, Ursula Michaels for Imaginating. And I have yet to finish the middle one. This is 18 count Ada that I dyed myself, and I wish I had started it on anything else than 18 count Ada. It has a lot of half stitches, and that would be more challenging with just regular Ada, 14 count I mean. But with the tiny things and then splitting it and all that, it's taking some time. And I started on it in October, and then I didn't touch it again until May when I was spinning my decision roulette for my WIPs. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have any idea. This is, it will be Mary Slytherin. I finished Mary Gryffindor. This is Mary Slytherin. And I have, sorry, I don't know what that is. I have the picture. Here's Mary Slytherin. This is the one I finished. There's this one, and I do have the stuff to finish the other two. And they're on 14 count Ada, but it has an iridescent, I don't know if you can see that. It has that iridescent on it. And I don't know what's going on with this thread that I have here. It appears to be stuck. So I will have to look at it and see what's going on at some point. Then this, and I started Mary Slytherin in May during Mania. I started and finished Mary Gryffindor during Mania, and I started and finished one of the spring bookmarks. And I kind of hope to do some for presents and stuff for Christmas maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll have time. This is Strawberry Cow. And I don't remember when I started it. I only recently started keeping track of those things. This is by Tinymodernist. I think I started in April. I downloaded this when there was a thing to, everybody was doing cows. I can't remember what it was called. You probably know more than me about what it was called. See if it says here. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the Moo the Merrier. So whenever that was, that's when this came out, and I started it right away. And that is on 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. It's from the same, I dyed it with the same, with Cute Boots. So that must be around the same time that I started Cute Boots. And I'm doing that one in hand and Cute Boots in a hoop. And that was the first time I was really working on anything that was that big and stuff with the stitching in hand. And I really find that that is my preferred method. But with this, I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see, because it's too small to fit in one of my hoops anyway. And then this is by CrossStitchingForFun. It's called Black Cat because the pattern has a black cat. And I do plan to mirror this cat on this half, because my sister has two kitties that are orange tabbies. So hopefully it'll fit like that. If it doesn't, you know, well. And then the last WIP I have, now I'm not including any of my personal designs in the WIPs, because, is Let Freedom Ring. And honestly, I'm very close to being done with it, but I just put it aside because I was working on other things. And I really like The pattern, I really want to be done, and I have Proud to be American also on the same piece of cloth, and I want to put a couple of others of theirs on this same piece of cloth, but I haven't yet. And that leads into what I want to talk about next, both plans and haul. So I bought this pattern when it came out. And I don't really care for stitching on, like the navy is about as dark as I want to go. I have no problem with black. I love black. I'm not sure I want to do black. And I have a whole bunch of the, threads, the Classic Colorworks threads, but I was looking at my Week Styworks threads, and I was like, I really like those better. And I showed these on the Three Sisters video. I had this one in my stash, and I thought maybe I'd use that for Really Tealy. But when I was at the attic yesterday, I found this one. I like that better for the houses that are teal. And I'm going to use this one. This is Icicle, and I don't know if you can see, it's got some blues in it, and I'm going to use that for the whites. And then I've used this already for something else. This is Louisiana hot sauce, which I'm going to use for the reds. And the trees, there's two colors of green for the trees, and I'm going to use this. This is, I don't know how you pronounce that, Scuppermung. I don't know what a Scuppermung is. And blue spruce. Those are going to be my tree colors. And instead of Queen Bee, I'm going to use Sally's Sunshine. I know it's a brighter yellow, but I really like the variation in it. And they didn't have a color that was exactly like Queen Bee. I went over there and checked the Classic Colorworks against the Week Styworks to see which one I wanted. I'm going to use Perfect Pie Crust because that's used in Santa's face, and probably that's it. And Perfect Pie Crust is actually a color I don't mind. So instead of Clay Pot, this is Red Pear. I bought all these at the attic yesterday. The ladies there are so sweet. They saw us taking pictures, and they're like, can we take your picture? We'll take it for you. But we already had the selfie done. And then Butterscotch. I think this is the antler color. And then for the reindeer, this is called Roasted Figs. It's a beautiful little brown, but it's got I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some nice variation in color. But I just, and I'll probably dye a dark blue, but not navy for the background. I'm considering buying the chalkboard color, but it's not a true black, and yeah, I can get Ada in black, but and it's pretty on black. It's lovely, but I still am dithering about the fabrics. But I want to start work on this no later than September. Now so I can get it done. It's not an emergency, but I would really like to. Now the Icicle, I had one skein. It's a full skein. But I wanted to get more because it requires 3 skeins of the bamboo, and I wanted to get more and make sure that the dye lot looked good together and all that, but they only had one more skein, and I was afraid if I just got that one and then just waited for one more skein to come in, that the dye lots would be very different or something, and I would not be happy. So I ordered 3, and I'll just not stitch any white till those come in. They did say that it's easier for them to get the Classic Colorworks because that's in Tucson, whereas Week Styworks, it's harder for them to get in, so I may have to wait for it for a little while. But that's my plans with that. And then, as I said last week, I bought the resting beach face, and I was looking through my stash, and I found this fabric, and I think that'll look good. I don't know what I did to this fabric, but it's not the same blue, but I think I like it. I may not, we'll see, but I may use that for that one. I kind of would like to finish that in August. If you knock my dog is underneath the tripod. Come here. Come here. There you go. And then the other thing that I would really like to finish in before the end of October, is at least one of these. I kind of want to do this one. So I'm thinking I want to do that. Now, I have a little bit of haul. While I was at the attic, I also bought some thread drops, because with Weeks Dye Works, I'll just go ahead and put them on here. Maybe. And then I also went to Mall Queen this week, and that is a quilting store here in Phoenix, and they do have online ordering, but I don't know what's on the online ordering, because I usually just buy sewing machine stuff from them. They sell sewing machines and stuff. If you get on any of that, you're going to be unhappy. Sorry, she just jumped on the couch, and I have all my stitching there. So I bought these 2 bags. I already had one like this, and this has a zipper pocket right here. Now, I'm not saying don't buy our bags, but, you know. Oh, I forgot to say some WIPs that I had. I did half of my quilt top. If you look on, the Three Sisters Creative video, my sister and I stood up and showed this. This is from a pattern from Just Get It Done Quilts using fat quarters, and it's pretty easy to do. I probably would have been done with it if I had just, not had anything else to do. She says it makes up fast. You can do it in a day. Not my kind of days. But sewing it together was not an issue. I have half of it just because I had to go do other things. And I also finished another project bag. And the Notions pouch. Now, I haven't gotten this one on the website yet. Oh, and here's the zipper pull, a little leaf. Isn't that cool? We didn't have any foxes. And I plan to get that up there. I was hoping by the end of the day today, but it's already almost the end of the day. So, and I haven't gotten anything done. I want to at least get my August CrossStitchCamp piece started. I got this as backup fabric for my quilt. And it's a good thing I did, because this one is sold out now, and the one I wanted was for my quilt. It's this line, but I wanted the dark teal one, and it has been sold out since June, and I had it back ordered from a different company, and they just canceled my back order because they couldn't get it in. So I guess I'll be using that one. And at Mall Queen, I bought one of these little magnets that you stick on your I don't know, it goes this way, that you stick on your sewing machine to help you sew a straight stitch. And also at Mall Queen, I got some patriotic fabrics. I have no plans for these. And I got some batiks because I am loving batiks. I really, really like them. And And then some background fabric. I have some plans for some other fabric I have, and it needed background fabric. And then another little thing. These were on sale, so that's why so much. It was called Christmas in July. And then the last bit of my haul is this gnome layer cake that I got at Missouri Star. This one, if I hold it upside down, the rest of the stuff is right side up. So just cute, 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 cute. Anyway, this has been going on, and if you stayed to the end, thank you. I appreciate it. If you would please like and subscribe, I would love that. And I will see you again next week.